Alabama Senate candidate Roy Moore has attracted the allegations of another female. During a press conference today, Beverly Young Nelson said she was sexually assaulted by Moore when she was 16 years old. The way that she's recounting this story is that he offered to drive her home, and instead of driving her there, he parked the car at the back of a restaurant where there were no lights and began groping her. Now, notably, and this was part of the whole saga that's going on with this, Senator Graham came out and also stated that he wants Moore to step aside in light of these allegations, contributing to a growing number of conservative or Republican individuals that want Moore to just not be in that race anymore. But the problem that they're seeming to just skip over entirely along with these women, and I've been making this point for a couple of days now, you cannot get him to drop out even if he drops out. They waited too long. 80 days ahead of the elections, the last point in which you can get the person's name off the ballot. He'd come out tomorrow and say, you know what? I'm done with this race. Bye-bye. Forget you. And then several more days pass, and he'll have all the votes of people who are going to say, we're going to drop out. We're not having that. And it goes back to a certain process we have here. Now, if you can recall last year, only in October did the allegations against Trump begin, did the October tape show up. Just various things that were disclosed right before the election. If there's one good thing that comes out, is even if Moore gets elected, which he's probably going to, they have polls that are showing him tied with Jones, the Democratic candidate. I don't buy that. Democrat hasn't won there in a quarter century, so I'm very convinced he'll win. But if there's one good thing that comes out of this, hopefully, if people, if these stories are true and if people actually had this happen to them, you come forward quicker than this. Because thanks to them deciding to just not say anything for month after month, regardless of how scared they were, regardless of how worried they were, their refusal to come out quicker than they did has now opened up the prospects, the door, the gateway to someone possibly dropping out with their name still there for you to vote for. And they don't seem to get it. It's as though all the Republicans that are telling him to get out of the race, all these women that are coming forward, they don't get it. Yes, we now know of this past of his as you're putting forward. It still isn't going to change the fact that his name is on the ballot and that there is going to be a very sizable portion of people that are going to say, well, he dropped out, but I'm going to vote for him anyway. Yeah, you have this chairman of the Senate committee talking about doing something to him in the event that he wins. None of that is going to discourage people who have made up in their mind, this is my guy, this is my candidate, this is someone I want. And that's what's so irritating, just being as involved with this as I am. You go and listen to minute details about the voters, the supporters. You look at the polls. People have decided, okay, I don't care what comes out of this source, that place, none of that. And that's fine. But the problem is people who this supposedly happened to and members of his own party want you to care about that stuff. And even if you do care about that stuff, it's still not going to matter because you waited to this point where things are irreversible. And one of the things that's irreversible is that he's the most established Republican for this race in a state where you have people who seemingly would rather eat cyanide tablets than vote for a Democrat. And also, you're open yourself up to the prospect of now putting someone in office that this stuff is true, likes to do that. So everyone is, I think, let each other down in this case. Thank you for watching. I'm very much doubting that I'm going to speak about this story or this case up until the actual election, because at this point it's just more allegations, his response, more people coming forward and saying he needs to get out, his response to that. It's not going anywhere. It's not doing anything. I want to learn some more about the other guy. I'll speak about this probably when we have the election. So I'll have something else up tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.